look at Evil Walk. So we're going to start this one with 2 full E chords. Right, we're going to play that 3 more times. Then we're going to go A to G. And then we're going to do this. We're going to play an E power chord. Then we've got our G chord here, but instead of having our 3rd fret on the big E string fretted, we're going to use our 2nd fret. We're going to use that F sharp note. So we have E, and then this F sharp here with this G, and then G 1 time, D 1 time, A 1 time. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have my G chord kind of ready to go. So 3rd fret on the B and the E string are already fretted, but I'm not putting any pressure down yet. So I'm going to play my E chord and then move that 1st finger up here to that F sharp note to our G. And then the 2nd time around we're going to do this, we're going to play the G chord 2 times, the D 2 times, and let that D ring out. Alright, then for the main riff, we're going to come down to the 9th fret on the D and G. And then we're going to pull off on that 11th fret on the G string back to this 9th fret on the D and G. So altogether it's going to be. And then 9th fret on the D and G again. 7th fret on the D and G. D to A. Back to D, back to A again. So altogether we're going to have. So it's kind of a loose strumming pattern. It's a little tricky at first. We're not just. It's more of a. You kind of hear some open strings in between some of those changes. All right, then we're going to go to the chorus, which is kind of what we did earlier. We're going to play our E chord, but we've got our G ready to go. Back to that 2nd fret, F sharp, to G, to D, to A. So. Now, right at the end of that, you're going to let the chords ring out more. So it's really something like this. You're going to play them, you know, pretty staccato at first, and then we're going to let them ring out. And then we go back into that 2nd verse. All right, so let's take a look at the guitar solo and how this one wraps up. Alright, so right before the guitar solo, we're just going to be playing that big E chord again like we did at the beginning of the track. It's going to go through that 4 times. I'm playing it 2 times each. But after the 3rd time, you're going to hear a big G chord in there before he goes back to E, so listen for that. And then once we get to the solo, we're just going to be playing E, A, and G the first time around. The second time around, we're going to play E, A, and what sounds like just maybe some open strings. It's kind of hard to tell what that is. It's not a G chord like this. It's kind of hard to distinguish what it is exactly. And we'll end this on E, and then we'll start that riff. So it's going to be something like this. Kind of starts quiet and then it kind of builds up volume. So that lick is just, we're going to have our open E string, and then we're going to slide from the 4th fret to the 7th fret on the E, to the 5th fret on the A, back to that 7th fret on the E. So once you get to this point, just put your finger down on that 5th fret on the A, and then keep this one on the 7th fret of the E, because you're going to go back to it anyway. So, and then we're going to have 5th fret on the E string, 4th fret on the A, and then open E, and then 3rd fret on the E, 2nd on the A, and then E chord. Alright, and then we're going to follow Angus's riff. So we're still going to hit our E chord 2 times, but then we're going to have 2nd fret on the D, 4th fret on the G, and 3rd fret on the E. And we're going to try to pick through these, so you kind of want those notes to ring out a little bit. So we'll start here, and then that on that 2nd fret of the D, and then 4th fret on the G to that 3rd fret on the B string. So it's back to that 4th fret on the G to this right here, which is just really barring the D, G, and the B strings, and then open D and G. So all together we're going to have. So you kind of want some of these notes to bleed together a little bit when you're playing them. And then just to wrap this one up, you're just going to go back to what we've already done, which is just E to our, our F sharp, G formation to G to D to A, and that'll kind of wind this one down. It's really the chorus of the song, and then the last 2 chords of the song are just D and A, and that's it. All right, so that's it for this one. We'll see you next time.